Is that back for this one? Not too bad, okay. Thank you for the follow. Your butt is in the picture, sir. You're also on my pencil. Don't pretend to be asleep on me. I'm stealing my pencil. Right here. Yeah. I touch your tail? Hey! Hey! That was very rude. Welcome, welcome. This will be video 3. I believe I left off at about middle school last time. Sir! Now that I have a chunk missing out of my hand. Alright. Let's see. Some things I should probably discuss before getting to middle school. When my mom and John would fight, like when it got super violent, I would sneak out of the house. Like I'd just straight go out the window and like run around the neighborhood in the middle of the night. We didn't live in a safe neighborhood. Like we're talking go to school and compare, you know, who was closer to the gun shooting, you know, what gangs were fighting closest to who in the morning. Like, this was East Aurora, suburbs of Chicago, Drug Town, USA. It'd be like 10 o'clock at night. I'd just shimmy out the window, go hang out at a park. My little like 10-year-old self. On top of that, you're also looking at um, there were quite a few times walking to school. I had cars that tried to pick me up. So I'm pretty sure I almost got kidnapped a couple times. Oh, look at this spiffy guy. Wearing all black still.
Told you I was going to. I don't know why you're surprised.
I know. Love you.
Love you too. Is that fairy tale?
Maybe. I needed a reference for my dragon I'm gonna draw.
I followed you on Pinterest, by the way.
Hmm?
I followed you on Pinterest, by the way.
Okay.
Figured I'd tell you that.
Yeah, he lives in black lately.
Fuck is that thing?
Dave is a rare fall chocolate group. They literally just introduced it.
A monstrosity.
He's very spiritually enlightened.
So they decided, since I was too smart for the public school system, they were gonna put me.
And in case you ever want to follow me back on Pinterest, I'm the Crusader.
Okay. So
I'm watching Filthy Frank.
kids were getting kidnapped from the public schools that were here. So let's put me in a plaid skirt and make me walk to the private school over here. Because it's going to be so much safer.
How long is this video released ago?
Years. Huh? Years.
Oh yeah, Filthy Frank hasn't.
I don't think anybody saw the logic behind that thinking.
Sad about Filthy Frank's sudden
It is so
disappearance.
funny how like the entirety of all that shit again came from my practice save.
Oh. There's auto saving in the game. I don't know when they're triggered, but it's there.
When I just beat Pam Pam,
Because I'm like, now you're just putting me in a plaid skirt and a white polo top. Like, that's like dressing up the white van and saying candy with neon signs to attract the children.
Yeah, do they ever find that dragon in Fairy Tale?
Yeah.
Okay.
oh wait,
Bro looks like an SCP. Come on.
he's again a very spiritually enlightened man.
On, t- on top of that, like, there were a few times like I ran away to like my friend's house that was like a town over, which was like a 30-40 minute bike ride. And my dumbass kid self did not think they would tell my parents.
Oh yeah, why was that guy carrying a pan full of broccoli?
Have you not been paying attention at all?
No.
Zelda cures disease.
But with that,
I take public transport very seriously.
that goes into the next part.
Like, if you don't have anything to like to say, then just don't say it. You know?
Oh, this is where the confused screaming meme comes from.
Where
I knew the confused
after the
screaming
car
was filthy crying,
accident,
but I didn't know which video it came from.
everything stopped.
Love you.
Love you. The physical abuse stopped because John left. The fighting stopped with my mom because he was gone. The sexual abuse stopped. Um, at the same time, we also moved out of where we were living. We ended up living with a family friend of my mom's. Someone I'd known, she'd known since she was little, like high school, I think she said. Maybe even longer. She may have known him since she was a kid. Um, I grew up with his daughter, considered her my best friend. He was in a relationship with a lady named Anne. And her daughter lived there as well. Her name's Crystal. And I also considered her a good friend because we all lived nearby back when I want to say I was in kindergarten ish. We were all three thick as thieves back then, and we all kind of just stayed in contact. So me and Crystal ended up sharing a room. Ashley was on visitation. This is middle school. So sixth grade, like the summer right before sixth grade. Guy's name is Jerry. Um, Ashley was a couple years older than me. Crystal, I would say like 15. Because this is right before she got pregnant. So I would say Ashley's like 2 years older than me. So I was like around 11, 12. Ashley was like 13, 14. And Crystal was the oldest, being around 15. And And technically, Ashley lived in Minnesota with her mom and was down visiting with her dad. And we were staying there while we figured out a place to live before school started. And I was actually in sports at this time. So, like, I had joined volleyball. And then I was doing like altar server stuff with the church just to keep busy. And this was right around me and my mom still not getting along very well. So this was one of the places I had run away to in the middle of night trips. And they, of course, told my mom about it. So, a few hours and I'd go like right back. Like, I tried to go to their house and they were like, no, you can't stay here. And I'd literally go right back. Or I'd go to the park and just hang out until I thought things calmed down and go back. Or like if things were tense throughout the day, like and or I'd get punished to be to like my room until it was clean. I'd like hide underneath my bed and fall asleep and take a nap throughout the day instead of actually cleaning my room. Or I'd sneak out the window and go to the park instead. I know, right? Especially once you learn you can climb in and out of the window instead. And then we got some really cool neighbors upstairs because we lived in a duplex and they had a Super Nintendo and heard all the arguing. And I just went up there and played their Super Nintendo until it calmed down for a while. Well, that backfired one time because I decided to go back in one time too early as John was leaving and he caught me. And like my mom was yelling out on the front porch at him as he was going to his car to leave. And he's like yelling at me, where the hell have you been and shit? And like my mom's like, don't you worry about it and stuff like that. And I just went in the front door and played it off. Dude, I played a lot of like the Aladdin game and the Lion King game, and yes, Donkey Kong 2 is the best. Yup. Like, I can't play any of those old school games now. Like, I find them too easy because of all the time I spent playing them when I was younger. But anyhow, so living with Jerry and Ann. They ratted me out to riding my bike all the way out there, and they sent me home. Once we moved out there, and my mom knew about it, I was like, well, how am I going to get to all these school things now that we live across, a town away? And I was like, oh, well, you made this ride before on your bike. You can do it now. I'm like, you really expect me to ride my bike every time I got something to get to? And she was like, yeah. So that's what I did. It was insane, but that's what happened.
It's yours now. Freedom of vice. It's medical knowledge. This is the part where you tell me what you were saying about for a rainy day and that you hate me for repeating this.
No, but if you would like some of the sparkling strawberry one that's in there, you're welcome to it.
I mean, I'm already eating this one. Although I can
And then
the sugar.
the summer
Oh, then
gets
don't get
weirder
the sparkling strawberry
and
one.
kind of
That hot
creepy.
sauce there is sweet.
Well, no, I'm not talking about like the level of sugar. It's something we're talking about like
Yeah, I had like 3 spoonfuls of it and I was done. Can I ask you for a napkin?
Because Jerry catches me down by myself in the basement.
Oh, bless you, little one. That was a message.
And basically offers to trade me sexual favors for money.
I'm gonna pick it up later tonight. That way it's done. And I'll do something tomorrow.
Yeah. I will definitely need food.
Sir, I am
Oh,
your daughter's best friend. And I am younger than your daughter. And he tries to convince me by saying he has this set up with Crystal, too. And I'm like, thanks, but no thanks. And I peace out. And I'm just like, nope, I'm gonna go hang out outside and avoid this situation. And then, like, anytime we go hang out in the pool they have in the backyard, he suddenly shows up. Or I'm just suddenly aware of it. And at one point, he made a comment about how one of the swimsuits I was wearing, like the top was kind of see through. So let's just say I never wore that swimsuit again. And like, I just kind of blew it off and never thought anything of it from there. But then there would be times that like I'd wear like a spaghetti strap shirt and like Anne would make comments of like, why is she wearing something like that? And I'd be like, it's nothing different than what the other girls are wearing. Why is it so wrong that I'm wearing it? You know? Like I'm just wearing shorts and a shirt. Like what am I missing? Like I don't know. I don't know if maybe she was just picking up on some of the vibes too and was trying to call me out for like egging it on. But I was a preteen girl that had no clue. Yeah, like I don't know. I didn't feel I did anything wrong either. And I'm just like, I'm just sitting here wearing a t-shirt or a spaghetti strap top, nothing different than what anybody wears now. So, who knows what was going through her mind calling me out on it. But I know from there, most everything was like me and my mom not getting along. Like, we would drive somewhere and like she threatened to leave me on the side of the road and make me walk home. And I would argue back and be like, do it, I dare you. And then it turned into she was going to take me and drop me off with my dad. And it always start out with I would just stop arguing and then eventually evolve into me finding my voice and just being like, go ahead, fine. Um, the next house we moved into was a fourplex, pretty close to where we lived before. And that was where my mom got pregnant with my younger brother. Um, Middle school was interesting, we'll say the least. Like sixth grade, they felt I was sad and just randomly sent me to the counselor for no reason, which maybe I was, but like I didn't feel like talking to anybody, so I didn't. I just kind of quit going because I was like, this is pointless. I don't know why you have me here. Like, I'm not gonna talk to you. I don't have anything to talk about. Um, broke my foot in basketball. That was pretty fun. I was kind of pissed off because I was super competitive. I was a loner. Like, I don't want to constantly talk to people. Like, I'm constantly moving. Like, it's hard to make friends when you're moving every year. Like, yeah, we can be friends, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hang out with you because I don't know where I'm gonna be living. Like, I don't know how we're gonna hang out. How am I gonna get there? This makes it real awkward. Yeah, I think like by ninth grade, it's almost like a house and a half every school year, if not more, in the same town. And that's the sad part. It's all in the same town, but like the town's so big, it's not that hard either. Like Aurora's so massive, like it's the second biggest city compared to Chicago. And then, oh my gosh, like there's at least 5 public high schools that I know of. Like, and the grade schools are innumerable on top of that. And like, I want to say just West Aurora, the graduating class is like 1,000 people at each high school. Like, it's massive. And that's just the people that make it to graduation. That's not including the people that drop out or choose to go GED. So, like, yeah, it's crazy. But no, we moved pretty much a street over from where we were. And yeah, it started out me and my mom. It's pretty simple. She'd go to work in the morning. I'd get myself off to school, come home from school, get a snack, do homework, watch TV, do whatever till she got home from work. I think she got into like a bowling thing for a while. I'd go with her to that so I wasn't home alone any more than I had to be. And then rinse and repeat. And I think it was the bowling thing was where she met Justice's, or not Justice, my brother's dad. Which that was a roller coaster and a half. Still is a roller coaster and a half, if you ask me. Um, so I was 13 when my brother was born. And on Tuesday nights, by this time, both my grandma and my mom had started working what was called bingo nights at my school to help earn money towards my tuition at school. Because private school ain't cheap. We all know this. And whatever they earned there went towards my tuition. On Tuesday nights, I took care of my brother while they were gone. And then I think Friday night was the bowling night. And I would help watch my brother during the bowling night. Um, I want to say it was around this time Jerry and Anne decided to split up, and somehow Jerry ended up at our house. And it was fall, close to winter time, because it was super freaking cold out. I got my brother to sleep. And this man decided he was gonna hit on me and try to feel me up and groped me under my shirt and tried to go for more, and I said absolutely not, and ended up spending like an hour on the freaking front porch in the cold on a second story until this guy left our house because he would not take no for an answer. Like, I don't exactly know how the events went down. All I remember is his hand going up my shirt. And I was just like, nope, nope, nope. Get the hell away from me. And he wouldn't leave me alone, so I just went outside the fastest way I could in shorts and a t shirt. And I was like, that's fine, we gonna freeze. And he decided he wasn't gonna freeze with me and decided to finally leave. Um, Also, here, somewhere in this house, my brother's dad was heavily into alcohol and at one point tried to break in our back door when him and my mom were going through their breakup. Um, this is where I experienced our very first eviction, where the sheriff was involved and they moved all of our stuff onto the curb. That was fun. I believe that was I believe we were there through most of my 8th grade year because I remember going to cheerleading crying during that. And cheerleading was 8th grade year. And the only reason I joined cheerleading was because we didn't have a dance team. Um, um, I was, yeah, I was pretty much to Justice's point where I was wearing all black all the time. I kept my natural hair color where it was really dark brown too. Yep, yep. And the cheerleading coach always yelled at me because I was a tugger, so I was always pulling my skirt down, so it was like to my knees on top of it. So it was like down at my really low on my waist, like a hip hugger jeans, and basically to my knees. It's just like, oh, knock it off. That's not where it's supposed to be. And I was always like the base of the pyramid to lift people up. And I was like one of the least peppiest ones there. So I was always like, woo, be aggressive. It got close a couple times, but no, I did not drop them. I did not. A couple other people got dropped, but not by me. I was not sad about the people that got dropped. I felt they deserved it. I did. I did. Yes. Let's just say after middle school, we didn't do any more cheerleading. We also didn't do any more sports. But so after getting evicted, we moved in with my grandma. It was interesting. Um, my grandma helped us kind of work out getting on the whole Section 8 thing, getting situated, insisted I go to a Catholic high school, which is where I ended up at the all girls Catholic high school. Um, That's where I really picked up art, was in high school. Took French class too. French was okay. um, Once I got my driver's license, that's where I felt more like the glorified babysitter. Um, my older brother ended up moving in with us there. Um, that's where I just started doing a lot of reckless stuff. It's where like chat rooms. Yeah. Yeah. All girls Catholic. College preparatory. Hang on, hang on. Let me get this for you. Eh, Let me get this for you. Let's do. Let's do this. Go this way. Hide that for a minute. Okay, so this is my high school. Like, oh, my camera's in the way. The Sisterhood of Truth and Faith and Strength. Did they have any? What's the band uniform? Do they have any of the uniforms? They did on the last screen. Like this is the uniform right here. This is the uniforms. That's the auditorium. The front of the building, cross and all. The the church right next door. Although usually we had mass in the auditorium just because the church isn't big enough. Like that's a top view. It's a giant square with the track field out back. This is the gym. This is the auditorium. I usually parked right here. Not gonna lie, like that was my parking spot right here by the sign. Or over here. Like I would pull right through here and just park right here. Dude, like I would go to like Yahoo chat rooms or MSN chat rooms. It was so bad back then. And I'll admit, I would meet the people on there hoping one of them would probably murder me. Oh no! Why did it time you out? Hang on. Let me fix Nightbot. Oh no. Send it me to on Facebook. Whoops. I feel like my school was pretty small compared to what like MHS is right now, but that's me. Mm, yeah, more like L&M size possibly. So once I get my license, I've pretty much become chauffeur for my mom because she doesn't have a license. Babysitter when I'm not working because I picked up a part-time job next door at the candy store. And in my spare time, I actually have a friend and I spend the night occasionally at her house. I know. Fannie Mae candies. There's actually one up in Davenport. They're a little bit pricey, like 20 bucks a pound for candy. But oh, so worth it. They're so good. Um, Yeah, yeah. Fannie Mae candies. There's one on Kimberly by the Hy-Vee. That's a little bit ways down from the Kimberly Walmart by Checkers. Yeah, by Checkers. In that little shopping center by Hy-Vee. I was the 16-year-old that they trusted running the entire store by herself on a Sunday. I would run that thing from open to close, which wasn't very long. It was like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. My boss did my hair for prom in the back room just so she could have me there during the day on prom day. It was pretty fun. Um, so while things are mostly going smoothly for me, my friend Crystal ended up having 3 kids. 3 kids. Her oldest is basically the same age as my brother. Her oldest comes out saying that Jerry touched her inappropriately while they were playing. Everyone tells Crystal to do something about it, to report it. She does nothing. The dad, who is a good friend of mine, and her go through a huge, huge fight over it. He basically bans her from having the kids around him. Which I don't blame him. I would too. I wouldn't want my kids around this guy. She continues taking the kids around him though because their grandma still lives with them. So it's just a weird situation all around. I pretty much have already limited my time as much as possible around this man because he gives me the creeps after everything that happened in middle school. And I'm focusing on school, work, having friend, babysitting, getting mom to and from work, getting brother to and from daycare, and all that stuff. On top of, at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm looking into colleges too. So, yay, life. And just being reckless on the internet. Um, my senior year gets pretty interesting. Oh, wait. So sometime in middle school, I failed some kind of assignment or a test at school. And I didn't want to give it to my mom because I didn't want to get in trouble. So I forged her signature on it. I got in trouble for it because my mom found out. But she found out I was really good at forging her name. So basically, anytime I needed a note from then on, she just told me to write it myself. So, all through high school, anytime I didn't go to school, I just wrote a note. Autumn was sick today. Autumn didn't feel good. Blah, blah, blah. Turned it in. No big deal. So, my senior year, I got lazy and just, Autumn didn't feel like coming into school today. Turned it in. Why? Because I was a senior and didn't give a shit. That was a mistake. I immediately got called to the office. They're like, Autumn, we know your mom didn't write this. And I'm like, yeah. Do you know my mom hasn't written a single one the entire 4 years I've been here? Like, no, we didn't. They're like, what's going on? You they're like, you can't exactly, drop out. I go, why not? I'm 18. They're like, what? You're 18? Yeah, I'm a senior. Oh, we didn't realize. I've been here for 4 years and you didn't realize I'm a senior? Trying to convince me not to mess up my school career and you don't even know what year I'm at? Granted, I just ratted myself out that I've been forging my own notes this entire time. But yet you don't even know how old I am or what class I'm in? Like, I'm aware I can walk out this door right now and go to the community college and get my GED. Like, what the fuck? Not to mention, like I didn't find this out till later. I tested top 10 of my class when I started in this school. Like, I'm pretty sure they've kept an eye on me the whole time I was there. Yeah, it makes it so much worse. Cause we never get the results of the placement exam that we take to figure out what classes you take. I didn't find out till after that I placed in the top 10 on that placement exam. I just knew I skipped some classes. Like all I know is I went from pre-algebra to honors geometry and they're talking about like quadratic equations and stuff and I'm like, "Hello, I never learned algebra. Please help." And they're all like, "No, you should have learned this in this class." And I'm like, "But I didn't take this class. Please help a brother out." Can I get the Cliff Notes version? Something? Whatever happened to Cliff Notes? Like, seriously. I never see them anywhere anymore. It was rough skipping that much. Then they went away with cursive writing, probably. They were just, we don't need this anymore. People can read. But anyway, so the stuff came out with my friend's daughter and she ignored it. I ended up applying to St. Ambrose College, which Davenport, got accepted. Ended up doing random meetups still with random people online. I ended up just meeting random friends. Like, nothing ever happened with any of it. Like, all those things that they tell you about bad people online, I never met any of them. Very disappointed with people on the internet. At least at the time I was. Except for that was how I met Justice's dad. But high school's big interesting part was where me and my mom butted heads. Because that's where I started learning some of the behind the scenes things growing up that I didn't know between other family members. Because that's where my aunt, that I spent a lot of my time with, who's now dead, was like a second mother to me because she's the one I spent the most time with. She told me about when I was little, she suspected at a very young age I had been sexually assaulted. Like 2 years of age or younger. Because I showed a lot of signs of it. She also did not trust my mom to properly raise me and got my mom to sign adoption papers giving all of her rights to my aunt. And my mom did not realize what she signed until after the fact. And it came down to they let me decide who I was going home with at the end of the argument. So it came down to a little Autumn. I was like 1 or 2, something like that. I was a little baby. Yeah, like, I have no recollection of this whatsoever. Like, little toddler me basically chose my future. And of course, 16-year-old smart mouth me gets into an argument with my mother. And we're trash talking each other. And pops off. He goes, "Well, why didn't you just let my aunt adopt me then?" Drops the mic and walks off. You would think that would be the comment that gets me kicked out, but it's not. It's actually at 16, we're arguing, and I tell my mom to go to hell over something stupid. And she tells me if that's how I feel, I can pack my shit and get out, so I do. I'm like, fine, you don't have to tell me twice. And I start packing some bags with some clothes and Start walking over to the payphone across the street. And of course, that's when grandma shows up and is like, "The fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm packing my shit and getting out." And she goes, "No, you're not. You're going to my house." Damn it. I was gonna go call my aunt and go live at her house. No, you're gonna come live at my house. Grandma, you're ruining my plans here. Though I will thank my mom for all the times she threatened to abandon me somewhere on the side of the road for arguing with her while she was driving. I have an impeccable sense of direction, and I almost always know where my car is and how to get back to it. Like, it's really hard to get me lost sometimes. like like people will take me to a fair just so they can find their car at the end of it. Because they're like, "All right, Autumn, where did we park? We're going home now. Like, what section we in?" We've been walking around all day. We have no idea. All right, we're over G12, right over there. Come on, follow me. I know exactly where we're going. I'll be your golden retriever for today. It's a very good skill to have. I love it. Ah. Ooh, that cream soda hitting hard. But no, then in the picture it's red. The one I drew it from. Let's see if I got red markers. Hold on. I gotta dig it out from under other stuff. I got so much crap. That's a paint box. That apparently just has a charger in it. Oh. I apparently still have the picture order form from the last time they had pictures. Look, I have some organization. Some. Hello.
Hello. Love you.
Oh, this is video of him reading peppers.
Ah, it's dirty now. Thanks for your approval.
The one thing I have noticed is she doesn't have straps on her arms.
That's her hair.
This doesn't seem the same as the rest of it.
Look. It's just her hair. Go away. I also gave her a crown
Oh yeah.
because she's supposed to be a princess.
Take you're gonna add all the foliage later in the drawing.
I may not add any foliage.
You know what? That's fair enough. Aurienio, or however you say your name. You're a dragon expert, eh? Name every dragon.
You leave her out of this. How about you name every dragon?
Fuck you. You leave my knowledge out of this. I'm questioning her or him. I don't care. I do know all of them. It's just that I don't remember all of them. Just like how I know every single phone number. I just don't know who they belong
That makes no sense.
to. You mean that makes no sense?
You make no sense, sir.
Renio. Okay, thank you for clarifying. All right, we're just gonna ignore like 2 letters. Gotcha. That A and that beginning R do not exist apparently. RuneScape. What's RuneScape again?
It's a game.
Well,
Like
no,
WoW.
well, no fucking shit. It's a game.
But it existed before WoW, I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha.
If my memory serves me right.
Gotcha. Oh, it's pronounced like gotcha.
Yeah, it eats WoW for breakfast.
See, I don't know this stuff. I don't play top-down strategy games. RuneScape is life. MMORPG. There's a ton of MMORPGs.
Mhm. It's a very
It's a very common
common style.
genre of games. RuneScape is the only one that matters. RuneScape's the only MMORPG game that really matters, according to Renia. God, Charlie looks destroyed. That pepper fucked him up. In general, yeah.
Mhm. Okay. So now, I'll admit too, I wasn't like the easiest to handle in my high school years.
You sound absolutely destroyed.
Like, especially when I was suicidal. Because, like, I painted that note on the wall.
I'm never using the water type Pokemon in there.
At least you ended that part, or else I wouldn't be here talking to you.
I was talking about, no, I'm just talking about, like, okay, for one of the Pokedex entries for, like, I think it was Surskit or something along those lines. One of those, like, cute websites, you know what I'm saying? Small ones.
Do you know what type it was? Did it have another type?
Probably, but I can't remember. I know it was one of those that had water moves and shit.
Like most water
Basically, the Pokedex entry was like, this Pokemon is well renowned for being a great shower
And
head.
then,
Capture it so they can take wonderful showers. And I was like,
let's see. My older brother
It's all fun and games till that Pokemon ends up.
decided he wanted to start growing weed to sell it. And then realized I had the bedroom with the closet door. And asked me to switch rooms with him. And I said, absolutely not. I am not switching rooms. So waited till I wasn't home and started switching our rooms anyway.
Survival game, but with dinosaurs.
yeah, but like dinosaurs too.
Yeah. Don't know.
So I was like, awesome. My opinion doesn't fucking matter.
But like more wasn't there.
The fact that I didn't want to switch rooms doesn't matter. Sweet. So I came home in the middle of him switching the rooms. Everything was in the fucking hallway. Literally just turned around and walked back out. Was like, you know what? You started this project, you can finish it. I am not helping. Yeah, yeah. He's the entitled favorite child, so.
What?
What? I'm not talking about you. Talking about my story on stream.
shapes.
Mhm.
Because the colors don't really line up that much.
That's supposed to be Princess Bubblegum?
No,
Oh, I saw the crown and it just looked like Princess Bubblegum's crown.
nah. It's from an anime.
Is that My Little Pony?
I don't remember My Little Pony being an anime.
You clearly haven't seen what I've seen, but
Do you just see ponies just like running around with samurai swords, just yelling in Japanese,
no, but I have
blowing
seen
shit up?
ponies just running around with like fucking laser beam rifles.
I don't think that's I don't think that's Japanese stuff. I think you're just
Just
looking
look up
around.
Fallout Equestria. I promise you it's a banger series. It's My Little Pony, but in the plot of hell.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Charlie's being destroyed by peppers right now.
Yeah, I thought.
He is pretty amazing. I'll give him that.
Oh, thank you very much.
Well, she did say you are amazing.
I noticed.
You're not ugly.
Well, ask them. Prove it.
She hasn't even seen your face.
That's like me looking at a
Okay.
black. That's like me looking at a black
Whoever this
screen being.
person is. Hello? Am I?
Bro.
Where's the camera?
Right
Where's
here.
That's like me looking at a
hello?
black.
Am I ugly?
Yeah, that's like me looking at a black.
Jonathan would like to know if he's ugly.
That's like me looking at a black screen, just being like, "Bro, this shit fucking awesome."
She says hello.
Hello. You
Hello.
didn't answer the question. Am I ugly?
You are dashing.
Damn it.
Oh, you are quite dapple. Dapple.
Dapo.
I meant to say
You are a dapper fellow.
I meant to say dapper, but I said dapple instead.
No, I don't want to be ugly either. I want to be like. I want someone to look at me and be like, yeah, that's a cute one.
That's like when yeah, it's kind of like that TV show that's like completely like it's like an 11 out of 10 except for the last season. Like take Game of Thrones. The rest of the show is pretty good. Last season, horrible. Rush.
It reaches a certain point, it's really popular TV shows. Like how The Walking Dead was. The Walking Dead was garbage. The entire show. Like, this was the set. Fight zombies. Make some kind of little
I think I'm gonna call it a night from here.
fight zombies.
Because that pretty much gets me through high school.
Yeah, I don't see what all the hype about The Walking Dead is. It's literally just
And I
I
can
remember back in like
it's literally
2011,
just
2012 when fucking everyone said something.
just talk about the relationship trauma
you gotta see The Walking Dead. It's fucking amazing.
from Justice's dad
You watch it and you're like,
and my marriage.
there's 79 zombies out there that failed. We have a crossbow.
Thank you for joining me. I'll upload this to YouTube as soon as I can. Probably tomorrow.
Oh, I only put them over here because I keep bringing them back again. Always fall down without fail.
Have a good night. Made it more fun, too.
This is all me. This is none of their house. There's a lot of trouble in the whole world.
what what he put in there was drying up all
Ye-
constantly.
This fish are
Hey,
I will see you in a couple days.
Not yet. We're just okay. So we got a dude with some bolts with a crossbow, half broken pistol, and a bitch with a samurai sword. And the bitch with the samurai sword is usually doing 90% of the work, and it's hiding the fact
yo,
that she is half zombie this entire time.
yo, John, I don't know about you, but I think Charlie's looking a little different.
If my fish doesn't run away again.
Are you really smart?
Like Charlie,